Welcome to this month's edition of OSU Extension Monthly. It is the merry month of May, and we're going to talk about tips for healthier choices when we eat. You know, everything we eat and everything we drink really matters. Maybe not today, but over time.
Yeah.
And people who don't make good choices usually aren't the healthiest that they can be. The right mix can help you be healthier now and in the future. Start with small changes, because if you just say today, oh, I'm going to quit eating this and I'm going to quit drinking that, you probably won't be successful. So you need to make small changes to make healthier choices that you will learn to enjoy. Find your healthy eating pattern and maintain it for a lifetime. So what we eat and what we drink should matter over our lifetime.
What some things to remember when you are trying to eat healthy is make your plate, half your plate, fruits and vegetables, and use whole vegetables. It's not as confusing as it seems. Whole vegetables like a whole apple or a whole banana, not cutting them in half. Use your vegetables as well, whole vegetables. You want to make your plate half grain and use whole grain, like your whole grain noodles or your whole grain bread.
I like this brown rice rather than white rice.
Yeah. And make it less sodium. Get canned vegetables that have no sodium or low sodium, and
Right there it says no salt added.
And try to stay away from trans fat, bad fats, and added sugars. That just kind of counters the healthy eating.
Well, you know, healthy eating and physical activity are the building blocks for a healthier life, and we all need to eat healthier. I think that there are people out there who do eat healthy and do physical activity, and they probably are healthier than those of us who sit in an office all day and don't get as much physical activity.
You want to stock your pantry with, like I said, whole wheat, pasta, brown rice, and cans that have no added sugar and no added salt or low sodium.
Yeah.
Like these crushed
Tomatoes
is a low sodium. These we have pears right here that are no added sugar, and it's just in water. So you can get fruits and vegetables in water, which has less sugar. You want to stock your freezers with high protein, such as chicken breast, fish, frozen vegetables without the sauce, fruits without the added sugar. You want to cook whole grains like a brown rice, whole wheat pasta. And when you want to cook, you can make leftovers of it so that you can use it again for other things. Like if you make whole vegetables with onions and peppers and all that, you can turn that around next morning and make an omelet. Which I'm going to make an omelet for you guys this morning.
Oh, wow.
Great way to start out the day, that's for sure.
It is a great way to start off the day, and eggs are very healthy for us. I know there was a time a few years ago when people were saying that it wasn't healthy, and you know, really and truly, eggs are a protein, and we need those proteins. So.
Yep.
Okay, so how do we make an omelet?
Well, what first we're going to do is we're going to dice up our onions and peppers, or grab our leftover onions and peppers, and you can saute them. You can use cooking oil or butter flavored cooking spray.
Why would I use that instead of oil?
Because this has no trans fat and it is fat free. So
awesome. And no fat and free of trans fat is a healthier option for us.
Yep, low fat, no fat. Or what I like to do sometimes is I use water to get that extra. Cooks that vegetable. Ooh, that smells really good. It gives you that crisp, but it doesn't give you the added fat of anything. So I'm going to make sure my pan is warm. Going very slowly. I'm going to spray it with my butter. And then we're going to add our vegetables. Another way to eat healthy, I said no sugar added to your fruits and your vegetables and trans fats and all that, is to use fat-free or low-fat milk and yogurt. That also helps keeping it healthy. So we're going to let that sizzle for a minute until we get it ready to cook.
Mm-hmm. You're going to make an omelet, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. So,
well, in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and scramble my eggs. Misplaced my fork.
now sometimes when I'm making omelets, I like to add a little milk to the egg. I don't think we're planning to do that today, but if I did add milk, I always use like a 2%, or you can even do low fat. I remember back when I was first married, my husband loves milk, and he said, "Oh, I have to have whole milk. I can't drink any of that other stuff." Well, you know, slowly but surely, I weaned him off of the whole milk, and he now drinks 2%, and he's okay with drinking 2%. I really don't know that I could move it on down to no fat, low fat, any lower than that, because after all, he wouldn't like it, I don't think.
Yeah.
But, and really how I did that is, you know, I said start small. Well, what I did was I would buy a small amount of 2% and a gallon of whole milk. And then after he had drank several glasses of the whole milk, I would then mix the 2% into the milk. And I just continued to do that and mix it back and forth until one day I just bought 2% and he didn't even make a comment or notice the difference. So I was really very pleased with his ability to adapt. And I think that tells us that, you know, we all don't like to make changes in our diets and in our lifestyles, but we have to sometimes, because, you know, advertising out there has just made us feel like that we need to eat and drink a lot of the things like the sodas and what have you. And truthfully, they're not as healthy for it. Now, I'm not saying you can't have them any at all.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that it shouldn't be our entire diet.
Yeah, right.
So our diet should be something that for breakfast in the morning, you know, an omelet, it would be great because you're getting a protein, but you're also getting a carb. And we know from research that eating a protein and eating a carb together first thing in the morning revs up your metabolism in your body, which can help you with losing weight if you're overweight, or maintaining your weight if you are at the right weight that you need to be. So how are we coming along there?
We're getting there. It's starting to sizzle a little bit.
Oh, it smells pretty good.
Yes, it does.
You know, it is early morning here this morning, and I didn't eat breakfast, so it would be wonderful if I could eat an omelet, but unfortunately I have an egg allergy, so I won't be able to sample this what you're making, but I bet there's somebody here that will eat it up, right?
I wonder who.
I wonder who too. Well, I'm going to talk about some eating out tips, because we do eat out a whole lot, lots of us do. I even do it more than I need to sometimes. And I'm realizing that by eating at home, I'm saving money, but I'm also saving calories. And when you're saving calories, that can make you a lot healthier. So when you eat out, you can reduce the portion size, because most portions at any restaurant are larger than what any of us need to maintain a healthy diet. If you can order the child size from the menu, that's the way to go, but sometimes restaurants don't allow that. They have age requirements and what have you. So if not, you choose the smallest size of something. Like if you go through McDonald's and you get French fries, you get a small fry rather than a large fry. And I know that I love French fries, okay? And I could eat all the French fries that I could eat until I was full. But I know that that's not healthy for me. So if I would order the small rather than the medium or the large order each time, I would save a lot of calories and it would be much more healthier for us. If you're out at a restaurant and, as I said, the portion size are rather large, only eat half of your order and then ask for a doggy bag to take the other half home for the next day. For example, most hamburgers have 2 pieces of bread, a piece of meat, and if you like a bacon cheeseburger, it's got cheese and bacon on it, and that's a lot of calories in one meal. So what you can do is eat half of that hamburger today, put it in a doggy bag, take it home, and have the other half tomorrow. Now I know you're saying, ooh, I don't like leftover hamburgers, or I don't like leftover whatever. Well, I understand that, but sometimes in order to save money and calories, we need to do some tips like that and take those seriously. Order an appetizer because they usually are not as large as a meal. But be very careful when you order an appetizer because a lot of them are deep fried. And of course, we do not recommend that we eat a lot of deep fat fried foods. Okay. Resign from your clean the plate club. You know, when I was growing up, my mama would say to me, you know, think of all them starving children over there in Africa. You should be thankful that you have food on your table. And you know, I was thankful and I did eat it all because my mother told me to. But as I've aged and gotten older, I realized that eating everything on that plate at a restaurant may not be in my best interest. And so I can leave some of it. Now I have a hard time leaving food because I was taught not to waste food and to, you know, that you spent your good earned money for that food. So again, get a doggy bag and take some of it home. And you don't have to clean your plate just because someone sat a 16-ounce ribeye steak in front of you, which by the way is now Oklahoma's state symbol. The ribeye is the state symbol for Oklahoma's meat production. Wow. And that's kind of cool. Casey Murdoch, our representative, was the one that got that through the passage through the legislature. So, and then, you know, when you go out to eat and they have a buffet, I don't know about you.
That one's a tough one.
Yeah, it is a tough one because that's the joy of a buffet. There's lots of food there in front of you. Lots of food there in front of you. And you tend to overeat when you eat out at a buffet. So a tip that you might keep in mind is that to go ahead and order one item from the menu rather than going through the buffet. Now, I don't know. I like buffets from time to time, and some of them have some healthy choices on them, like the salad bar and those types of things. Of course, another tip when you're eating out is to ask for the dressing for your salad to be on the side. And then don't drench your salad. I've seen some people that I laughingly ask them, you know, are you having ranch with your salad or are you having salad with ranch? Because of the amount of ranch dressing that they put on to their salad. So, you know, a serving of salad dressing is 1 tablespoon. You know, that's about like a little spot like this. And so, yeah, be careful about that salad dressing. Looks like that omelet's just about done.
Yup.
That looks marvelous. You make wonderful looking omelets.
Thank you.
They slide right out of that pan. We haven't used any oil.
Nope.
Nope.
Just our butter spray.
Yeah. And what a beautiful omelet.
I'm really hungry.
I wished I could eat that, but I can't. So we're not going to. So, actually, you want to talk about physical activity?
I sure can. Part of being healthy is having physical activity. You want to make sure you have a minimum of an hour's worth of physical work to make you healthy.
In a week, right?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
that doesn't sound like too much. But
No.
why do I never get it?
It doesn't sound like too much, but when you actually look at your day's schedule, where am I going to fit in that 20, 30, 40 minutes a day to do that?
But I think you have to make it a priority.
Yep.
That's it. That's the tip.
Yep.
Really is. That you got to make it a priority.
I sacrifice an hour of sleep every morning to get up early and go work out.
Well, I don't do that.
But
And it shows.
Other ways to work on your physical activity is kind of find something you like that is, up and moving and around, not sitting and watching TV, and do it, and then gradually add more or spend more time doing it. Then you kind of lengthens out your time, and you'll be able to put in that time limit. You want to keep track of your activity. See if you enjoy walking in the park. Count how many times you walked around, say like sunset. How many times you walked around the lake, or how long you were out there.
Yeah, it takes about 20 minutes to walk a mile. That on average. I realize some people walk faster than others. So, if you're out there and you walk for 20 minutes, you probably have done a mile. Oh, they also say 10,000 steps a day.
Yeah.
So if you have
One of those smartwatches or something?
smartwatch, yeah. I don't have one of those.
I don't either, not anymore.
So, but they can help you keep track of your exercise.
Yeah. Even nowadays, phones will have if you have the right app, it'll have a active tracker on it. So if it feels that it's moving up and down or in your pocket more, it'll say that, hey, you worked out for 15 minutes or something like that.
Awesome.
Other ways to combine moderate and vigorous activities. You can do a minute of vigorous activity towards 1 minute of vigorous activity equals 2 minutes of moderate activity. So if you do vigorous activity, you can do more activity for less time. So if you, instead of walking for 20 minutes, you can run for 10, and you still get the same amount as walking for the 20.
Oh, but I'm not going to run.
Yeah, I'm not big on running. That's hard on my knees.
It's hard on my knees too, but I do appreciate those people who do the running because they can and what have you. So, there was a little joke going around that was kind of funny about laughing. If you just laugh, now, I don't call that vigorous exercise unless you're really getting the laugh on. But laughing, if you can laugh for 20 minutes, that's as much that burns up as many calories as out jogging for 20 minutes. So the joke is, though, that now I'm sitting in the park laughing at the joggers. And so don't let people laugh at you. If you want to get healthy, do what you need to do to get healthy. Okay. Well, so we're going to talk again about some healthy snacks and some healthy meals. And we're going to make a quick, nutritious meal. And what I'm going to use here today is going to be some whole wheat pasta. I pre-cooked it, as you can see. The whole wheat is a little browner than normal.
Ooh, that looks good, though.
But that's whole wheat pasta. And we're just going to dump it in the bowl here. And kind of, because it's been in the bowl, I need to separate it, make it where it will be done. And then you can take, rather than buying store-bought spaghetti sauce or marinara or whatever that you might use, you can make your own using the crushed tomatoes with some oregano and some basil and some chopped onions and garlic. I've made that ahead too because we would not have time for our show. So here's my homemade spaghetti or pasta sauce, and I'm just going to add it into that. It has onions in it. I added little bell peppers because I think, peppers are kind of healthy for us. I'm just going to kind of layer it on top here.
That smells delicious, the tomato sauce.
So, and let's move this over here. This is my chicken breast. And I pre-cooked it. And now you can cut it up, but I just going to put it on top. And I'm going to put some sauce on top of it so that it doesn't look quite so white against that. There is my meal. I've got whole grain, I've got vegetables, and I've got chicken, which is a protein source. Healthy, kids love it, and it's really tasty. Add a salad to it, and you've got a meal for the night. How quickly can that be made? Well, it takes a little bit of time to make your homemade tomato sauce. So what you might want to do is make that ahead, like on a weekend when you have more time, and go ahead and have it prepared in your refrigerator, kind of like I had it prepared today, and then that way you're ready to go.
A good motto when preparing food and all that is to make it simple, make it right, and make it quick.
Make it quick. Oh, yes.
Fish is another good source of protein. It's got fat in it, but it's good fats. Your body wants that fat. So we're going to take a little bit of time and make us some tuna cakes. What I did, I went ahead and took my tuna. I put a rag in here to pull out that extra juice in it.
Because that was tuna in water.
Yes. If you do the tuna in water, there's less fat and oil that you have to worry about. Just like the fruit and sugar. Fruit in water has less sugar. So I'm going to get my egg. I want to put it in my tuna with a little bit of celery salt, celery seed, and some breadcrumbs.
Herbs and spices and things like your celery seed are great ways to add taste to our vegetables and our things that we make. But tuna cakes or salmon, you can use those as well. My mother always made salmon patties when I was growing up, and I really enjoyed them. And I don't make them now because you do have to use an egg to hold it together. It's a binding agent that is used. So
we make something with zucchini, making zucchini patties along with this, with the eggs and the celery salt and all that. Let's use.
That was awesome. Well, while she's mixing that, I'm going to talk a little bit about slow cooker to the rescue. If you don't use your slow cooker really often, you're missing out on the advantages and what that can do for you. In this one, I have put some veggies in there, like corn. I didn't put corn. I put onions, carrots, and potatoes, like I'm making a pot roast. And I'm going to add some chicken breasts onto that, and a can of crushed tomatoes. These are fire roasted. That will give you a different, more robust flavor. And so if you're used to things having lots of salt and pepper in them, you can add some things like herbs and spices, or have it fire roasted or what have you. So we put that in there and put the lid on, turn it on. And you know what I'm going to do while these are cooking? I'm going to do some physical activity. So I get to kill two birds with one stone.
Yay!
You know? Have you ever thought about that? Yeah. So while this is cooking, it frees up my time to do that physical activity that we were talking about we really don't have time to do. When really we do. Okay? Once a week, go ahead and make big batches of food in your slow cooker. Divide it out, and just like with the omelet, use it for something else, to make something else. You can cook some hamburger meat in here, a whole big thing of hamburger meat, and then you can have spaghetti with it. You can have tacos with it. You can have all kinds of things. So it's really important that you use the tools that you have in your kitchen. Okay, this one I added some oregano, some garlic, so it's going to be very, very flavorful with the fire roasted tomatoes, and I think it'll be something that will smell delicious. Matter of fact, it's going to be my dinner tonight.
Woohoo.
So I'm killing two birds with one stone here. You know, maybe I'm not going to get to do my physical activities. Try some of these ideas that we've been talking about and change your choices for a healthier you and a healthier family for you. And it's important that the person or persons who cook in the family understand what is nutritious, and they can learn some things like that by coming to a program that I'm going to be doing. You can get more information on how to eat healthy and how to be physically active by attending some classes that I'm going to be having. It's called Eat Healthy and Be Active Community Workshop. And I'm going to begin those on June the 10th here at the OSU Extension office. And I'm going to do it during the noon hour. So you have no excuse not to come if you would like, because we all have to have our noon hour. We'll ask you bring us a lunch, and of course whatever we make in the class, and we will be cooking, you can sample that as well. So the class will run June 10, 13, 17, 20, 26, and 28. Yes, that's 6 sessions that we will be covering, and we'll talk about how and do some things like we've done here today on the TV show. So if you're interested in that, contact me, Arlene James, at the OSU Extension office. We're located at 301 North Main here in Guyman, or you can call me at 580-338-7300. And happy eating, healthy eating, and remember, now that it's wet, the weather is better, get out and be physically active. Well, you're making 3 patties out of that can of tuna, just a small can of tuna. That looks awesome.
It looks
very
delicious.
good.
It smells good.
You know, I think I would even be tempted to add some onions and peppers and some other veggies to my tuna patty, or salmon patties, whatever we want. Mackerel patties too.
Ooh.
You can have those. What you do, go to the store and buy you a can of mackerel, mix it up with your eggs and some breadcrumbs, or really you don't even have to put the breadcrumbs in there. You could put flour if you wanted to in there.
Whole wheat flour.
Whole wheat flour, that's correct. You're learning.
Yes.
So we hope you have a wonderful May, and that you stay healthy and eat healthy, and that you become more active than you've been.